Hello and welcome to the Business Talk podcast. I am your host Deepak. Today we have the privilege of welcoming Dr. Vishal Dahiya, Professor and Director Integrated MCA at the Sardar Vallabhbhai Global University, Ahmedabad. Dr. Dahiya is a distinguished academic and researcher with profound expertise in the field of big data and its transformative impact on traditional organizations. Dr. Dahiya will share her valuable perspective on how big data is reshaping the way established companies operate, make decisions, and compete in today's rapidly evolving digital landscape. This episode offers a deep dive into the challenges and opportunities that big data represents, especially for organizations striving to adapt to the new digital realities. Dr. Dahiya, it's a true delight to have you on the podcast. We look forward to your valuable insights on this most trending topic.
Uh, Thank you, Deepak sir, for this introduction. It's my pleasure to join you on this podcast. This actually features my own research area, so it is a pleasure for me. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Dr. Dahiya, can you start by defining what constitutes big data and why it's become such a crucial factor for organizations today?
I'll start with the big data is basically the huge data set, we can say that way. And we understand the pattern, market trends, consumer behavior basically from those data set. And from real-time data set also, we keep on adding to our warehouse to make decisions. If I go to the history, it started with business intelligence, that is BI. So BI stands for initially how to make efficient decision on appropriate decision using the data which we were having in 90s. At the time, we were not having the technological advancement, hardware cost is the higher side, software is very limited, capabilities were very limited. So that's the reason it was not so much in place at the time in the organizations. But as there is a technological evolutions, happened specifically after 2000, after Google came into picture, especially for data sets. So it came into picture. Now it becomes BIG, Business Intelligence Group. And later on it shaped up as big data. And basically initially it was having 3 V's, that is volume, velocity, and variety. But later on number of V's keep on adding, whether veracity, whether it's value, some more V's were added time to time. But initially it started with 3 V's. One is volume, that's the huge amount of data. Then the second one is the velocity, the speed at which the data is keep on generating. And then variety. There are 3 types of basically the data sets. You can have structured data, unstructured, and semi-structured. Initially, if I talk about before 2 decades, most of the things were happening in structured data formats, or we were having structured databases. But as web came into picture, then social media came into pictures, many other players are there in the market. So it comes with the unstructured and semi-structured sort of databases. So that exactly big data is. And what happened basically, to take competitive advantages, most of the organization, they started with believing that we should go for big data because big data analytics playing a crucial role right now in making decision, in taking competitive advantages, understanding the risk the business may be having in future. So there are so many factors which making big data a popular term. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So how has the rise of big data specifically impacted traditional organizations that may not have previously relied on data-driven decision making?
Actually, if I say that most of the traditional organization or the way of any business unit earlier working was based on experiences, intuitions. They have their historical data sets, which they generally store year by year basis. So they were not having a mindset of data-driven decision making. So it is the shift is taking place due to technological advancement. So obviously, people now understood, by the companies generally, business houses understood that decision making is more accurate if we are going with data driven culture. So there is a shift in culture. If we empower our employees to understand the need of the market, then relevant data to understand their need. So the decision making is becoming faster based on the factual data rather than intuition data or mood data or perception based data. So this is the thing which is actually now making a buzz that yes, we have to grow in size with the help of data-oriented technologies. Specifically, big data has number of tools available. One is Hadoop is available, which is distributed computing. So there are tools available, and even integrated with artificial intelligence and machine learning, giving new dimension to the traditional work culture. So now people are thinking about more efficiency, good supply chain management, good customer relationship, customer centric approaches. So people are more towards those things, and innovation, but obvious because we are in the global village. So now people are thinking that we should be providing innovative product, innovative services, so that consumer remain with us. So all these things are possible only after this big data picture into rise, or data culture into rise. So it transformed the whole thinking process of traditional organization. Yeah.
Yeah, very insightful. What are the primary challenges traditional organizations face when integrating big data into their existing system and processes?
The most challenging part for them is changing the culture, changing the legacy, because they have their own way of doing the things, but tools and technology and techniques has changed drastically. So the one thing they try to focus on how to make interoperable legacy system plus data driven system or big data driven platforms. Second thing, which is generally people thinking of the cost. Obviously, infrastructure upgradation is required. You have to replace your existing system with a newer system, which are efficient one, faster one. Processor should be advanced processors, be huge data you have to compute. So the cost involvement is very high. And when you migrate data from the older system to the newer system, there is always a risk of data loss. So that is also a challenge. Another thing which traditional organizations should work upon is data quality. Because earlier when we were storing the data, we were not considering a number of factors, because we were not knowing that we are going to map in big data. So the quality, value, because there is a one V in big data, that is value. So that value should be added to your data. Then only if you migrate that value, it makes sense. Otherwise, again, it is a huge gap in decision making. Then another thing is skill set. You require experts, you require people who are able to do analytics for you, give you the right decision, give you the right statistics, give you the right portfolio to be analyzed so that you can take a call. So skill set is very, very important. And then you have to train your employees, existing employees, because that is must, because they are actually your workforce, which going to give you any profit or anything. So training for them is a huge task. So skill enhancement is a major challenge for any traditional organization. Then there is obviously sometime we feel that if big data come into picture, data analytics come, there is maybe different in organization, there may be challenges because there is a cultural shift. So data-driven culture will face those type of issues, cultural issues from the existing people in the system. And again, you have to hire the newer one, right? And then another is privacy and security concern. Because once you are going on cloud, right now also when we teach in the class, we generally say that when you are on cloud, you are vulnerable. You cannot say I'm secure, my data is secured. So that is, again, privacy and security concerns are always there. Then we never know about the return on investment. It's completely uncertain. If we invest so much in infrastructure, so much in skill set, then enhancing our existing employees, then we don't know whether we are going to have a return on it or not. So that is another major concern for any traditional organization. They have to change their business flow. So that is also their concern to how to change it. Whole change management is required for this.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. How can traditional organizations leverage big data to enhance their decision-making processes? Can you share some examples of successful implementations?
Traditional organization, if we want to take advantage, is one thing is they can go for customer segmentation and personalization. If we see live example is Amazon, customer personalization and segmentation, we can say, because whenever it analyze your pattern of searching and analyze the pattern you are reviewing, the products you are reviewing. Based on that, it is providing you customized solutions. You can say that the feed which are there, the product feed which you are there in your account, that is completely related to your behavior, your previous searches, based on that. So they are using completely, and Amazon is doing great businesses across the world, right? So one thing is this. Another is, I can take an example of Tata Group also. Tata Group is having different subsidiary units. What they thought of initially when they planned to go for big data, they were planning that their logistic support to different units, right? Then they thought of the manufacturing unit, if we can work on some patterns so that our manufacturing cost or operational cost can be reduced. So they worked on that. Then they also worked on the customer satisfaction part. So initially they started with all these, and you won't believe their cost, operational cost reduced to 15 to 20% after using the big data analytics. So there's a huge cost reduction. Then obviously their IT services, they are providing IT services also. So their sector grows like anything, because they started working on analytics for themselves also, and they provide services to other sector also. So one example is Tata Group. Another I can give you in a healthcare example, Apollo Hospital. If we see what they do is Apollo Hospital, they generally analyze any patient's record. How many times patient is visiting, what type different reports he or she is having. Then they plan an individual based strategy or customized solution to them. So that is again only because of big data and data analytics it is possible. So they can give a patient a feel that they are attached to them. And healthcare industry is completely emotional industry, where people will go to the doctors or industry or a hospital where they feel attached and taken care of. So these are some of the industries which make the use of big data analytics. And another one is Mahindra and Mahindra, because they always believe in product innovation and development. So thinking on that part, what they used to do is the customer who already they have acquired, they keep on taking feedback from them. And also they keep on tracking the market trends and the features which are required in industry and Indian context. So they keep on analyzing the 3 or 4 factors. And based on that, they are providing services. They are providing features to their vehicles. So that is another way they are capturing the market. So there are a number of examples. Some I have mentioned.
Okay, yeah. What kind of cultural or organizational changes are required for traditional companies to become more data-centric?
If any industry wants to be more data-centric, there is a huge cultural shift, as I already said, that it is required. But the cultural shift always starts from the top position or top executive. If I am the owner of that industry, obviously, being a leader, I should have a clear vision that what I want for my company. So clarity at top level is the utmost important. So leadership commitment and vision is also always plays a crucial role in this. First thing, they have clear vision. They whatever vision they establish for their business unit or their organization, communicate to it to the lower sector also, whether it's a middle management or it's lower management, because growth of any business is collective major, not individual one. So collective is a team effort. So they should have a clear vision that we are going for data driven organization. We are going to establish infrastructure for this. We are investing so much money in this. So everyone should take a part of it, because if industry grow or organization grow, you also grow as an employee of that organization. So that feeling should come in rest of the people. And that come only when leadership have a clear vision and clear commitment for. Another thing is expectation from management is resource allocation, because they should make a budget for it. Obviously, money is very, very important plays an important, crucial part in establishing, acquiring tools, technologies, and talent at most. Because talent is obviously, if you're taking an initiative, you require right people in place so that you can take a complete leverage of this particular technology. If you invest in infrastructure, but you don't have a proper experts in that, then again, it's loss of your investment. We can say that way. Another thing is training to each and every level it is required. That you have to train all the people, all the workflows which are existing in your system, and you hire the experts from organization also. Another that is important factor is the already we have discussed the privacy and security. So your policy should be in place. The data quality should be there, because decision making will be completely dependent on data. So the accuracy of data means a lot. So your data quality, data ownership, then your standards, your protocols, security protocol, basically, they are at most important. Then you should have a centralized data management. Because otherwise, if it is distributed and deallocated places, then taking a single call is very, very difficult. So any business unit, they have to manage their data center at centralized somewhere. So that investment is required from owner side or business unit side or organization side. Then once you are investing in infrastructure, you have done it, then obviously you have to hire good experts, creating new roles, creating new skill sets, creating new job profiles for existing one also. So that is must if anybody wants to move, any traditional organization wants to move from normal culture or traditional culture to data-driven culture. Yeah.
Okay. So what are the new skills and training should employees in traditional organizations acquire to effectively work with big data?
If I have to work with big data, so it's many skills are required, because it's not only the data skill is required. You require technical skills, you require analytical skills, you require soft skills. Without soft skill, nothing can happen, because it's the base of any organization. So how to go with this? The one thing is you have to increase of data. Because as I said earlier also, there is a one V, that is variety of data. So variety of data is structured, unstructured, and semi-structured data. And if it is structured data, then we won't face much problem, because analyzing a structured data is quite easy, because tools and technologies are very much in place and which gives you the accurate answers. But when you are having semi-structured and unstructured data, and if it is generating real time, then you have to make your experts understand, or your workforce understand, that how to make use of these semi-structured and unstructured data. Then how you are going to create your database schemes. Very, very important. Database schemes is how you are going to store your data in your warehouses or in your data lakes. It is very, very important. Then interpretation is another issue, because in our life also, sometimes we have same data, but interpretations are different. But in business, we cannot afford that. It should be a single mind and single directive data. So that way we have to create data literacy in our organization. Interpretation should be correct. And then another thing required is the analytical tools, which are readily available nowadays in the market. If we talk about some of the Google Analytics is there, many of us are using it. Then you can have SQL. Earlier we were using SQL for querying database. It is for structured query language. So if I talk about myself, 20-25 years back, we were learning only SQL. That is structured query language, because at the time there were no unstructured or semi-structured term were introduced. We were having only one term, that is structured query language. So again, now also it is relevant, very much relevant if it is a structured data. So you can have SQL, you can have Python, you can have R. There are so many tools which are available in the market. Then you require the experts to working on that. Then BI tools, Power BI is a huge market now. Many people are using Q-Link. Many people are using Power BI, Tableau for basically for visualization, creating dashboard for their business units. And then obviously we want that basic programming knowledge, logical knowledge the person should have, that how logic works, how coding works, how SQL works. Then again, another thing is nowadays machine learning and AI. That is also creating, because big data alone is not sufficient. If I talk about Amazon, they are using ML plus big data. If I talk about data analytics, which is done by many other organizations, they are not doing only big data analytics. They are using big data analytics with AI, big data analytics with deep learning, big data analytics with, if I can give you one example also here, is Uber example, Uber case study. They are using ML plus big data analytics. If there is some festival or time zone is different, or the evening time, or the traffic at higher side, their cost keep on changing. You have to travel 5 kilometers, but that 5 kilometers when you are traveling, and the price change. So Uber is using ML for doing all these analysis of driver, available time, and then traffic. Basis on 3 factors, they are deciding the cost. So there are so many things which come into picture, especially when we have to make an approach of problem solving or critical thinking or analytics. So these basic criteria is required. Yeah, basic skill set is required from the employees or the person you are hiring, or if you are moving to these technologies, that much skill set is required.
Okay. You earlier talked about privacy and security of the big data.
Yeah.
So how should traditional organizations address concerns about data privacy and security, when handling large volume of data?
Yeah, because nowadays this is a huge task, because which data is right, which data is wrong, which is it market now, especially security. And if you see the service sector, the jobs are increasing like anything in the security part. So if we think about the big data security issue specifically, then obviously we have to create frameworks, proper policy, proper data classification, proper governance specifically, because policy to implement is require proper governance. So we have to implement basically the robust data governance framework. You should have an ownership of that data. The policy should be in place. And another thing which is required is regular audit of the data. So you have to create whatever there are gaps in regulatory bodies, you have to keep on auditing it. Because again, privacy is a challenge for the whole IT sector, cyber sector. The technological advancement is forcing us to the security issues also, right? So policy development is required, governance is required, regular audit is required. Then another thing is, if you can go for, if you can invest more, then encryption, access control features you can add in your system. Encryption is again a better solution if you can add in your system. Then security updates. Now also we can see that time to time you can see updates, software updates. The updates are generally come just to see that your previous bug can be removed, right? So you want to take a security measure, so you keep on auditing it, you keep on updating it. The same thing here we can do. We can have to give proper authorization control, rights control to the right people. Your data is not accessible to everyone. So there is governance, compliances, security measures, employee training, because you have to train your people also, that please don't share this thing with anybody else. These are your authorization, login or credentials, and you have to go with this. So that strategy you have to implement.
Yeah. In what ways can big data provide a competitive advantage to traditional organizations? Are there any industry-specific examples you could share in terms of competitive advantage?
Yeah, if we can see that big data is helping us, that we have informed decision making. We are what we say, operations are more well, customer experience is far, far better. And every industry is working on the innovative ways to come up with better solutions, better products to the market, right? So big data is basically increasing their efficiency in respect of customer personalization, or in the product offering sector, we can say. I can give you a very simple example of retail industry, that is Walmart. We all heard the Walmart name. So what they basically does is, this is one of the first industry actually who started working with the data mining. Before this big data term, the term was data mining. And generally, we used to teach data mining and data warehousing in 2000. Later on, the name has been shifted, right? So what they done, they want to optimize their supply chain so that they can improve the customer experience. So what they done, they analyzed the huge inventory data which they were having. Then what they did is they provided those content or those product to their customers based on their choices. So this is the first industry actually who started giving customer personalized product, even way before than Amazon. So they improve their operational efficiency using big data analytics. Another example I can give you is the financial sector. That is, if I talk about ICICI Bank. ICICI Bank, what they did is they detect fraud transaction and the risk. So what they leverages big data analytics to analyze the real-time transaction which are happening in a particular bank account. And if they feel that there is some unusual pattern is happening, then they indicate it as a fraud, and then immediately they'll just provide an action that they please check, this can be a fraud. Just looking at the transaction pattern in your account, right? So this is another industry, financial industry in ICICI, another example. Then Tata Group already I have given, but in automobile industry, Tata Motors, specifically in India, they optimize their supply chain and production processes using big data analytics. What they have done is they have analyzed the data of the supplier, production chains, sales unit, production units, and then they reduce their operational cost. They save their cost a large extent. So big data is always giving you a competitive advantage as compared to your traditional organization. You can enhance your customer satisfaction level, your operational level, your supply chain. So all these things can be improved, whether it's healthcare industry, whether it's any service industry, whether it's an automobile industry, banking industry, all industry are using, and agriculture. Agriculture is also using big data analytics like anything to decide which crop recommendation system. Nowadays, it is very much in picture, specifically in India. You can find out there are recommendation systems which tell you that which crop to sow, which not to, which soil is good, which crop, which soil. Those recommendations to normal farmer, they are providing right now also. So big data is actually changing it.
Yeah. How should traditional organizations evaluate the cost versus the benefit of investing in big data technologies?
This is a very major factor, because business unit, for them, profit is always one of the basic part, but obviously. So if I see the cost versus benefit processes, as I earlier said, ROI uncertainty is there, but obvious that is there. But we have to see what is our vision, what is our goal. So obviously analyzing both factor, there are certain quantitative factors also there and some qualitative factor also there, which keep on changing, right? Or based on your investment you are doing cost wise and how much profit you may be getting. So the main thing is you have to define your business objective. Your main concern is profit, better customer base, or your aim is something different, right? So you have to completely write what is your objective, business objective specifically. Then you have to find out which technology you want to go for. So what is your budget? And based on that budget, which technology you can afford or you want to go for. So if I say the initial investment part, so you have to invest in technology, you have to invest in infrastructure, you have to invest in consultancy and implementation part also. So there is another cost is maintenance. Once you invest infrastructure, then you have maintenance cost also. Then you have to manage the data centers. So data management cost is there. Training and development cost is there. So these are 6 or 7 major costs which are involved while you are going for this technological shift, right? But if I see the benefit can be quantitative and quality both. If I want to see as a quantitative benefits. So you may have that which are directly visible. So if your revenue has increased, it's a directly impact. You can easily find out, yeah, this is a profit to me because I have moved to this. Then if you can change your operational cost, save your operational cost, that is another factor which is a benefit to you, right? If another factor I can see is ROI, कि आपको, if you feel that this is the return on my investment, you calculate it and you can find it out. Yes, this is actual the amount which I'm getting output as an output benefit. This, but there are certain qualitative factor also. Like maybe your customer is more satisfied with you. So you feel motivated. Yeah, I have given something to my customer and my customer wants to stick with me. So again, for many organizations, this is added advantage, right? Then your decision-making process become fast. Then the time which you were investing earlier was 7 days, but now that decision you are taking in within hours or couple of hours. So that is another benefit, right? And then another is obviously you remain in the market, the competitive advantage. Every business wants to take competitive advantage. So it's up to you how you are looking at it. Either you are going with quantity or going with the quality. So both ways you are getting returns. It's not like one way you are getting returns. Sometimes as a customer experience, customer satisfaction, and then your good products are in the market and you are taking competitive advantage because your customer wants to loyal to you. So again, it depends. So these are basically the investment and then return on your investment benefits.
Yeah. Based on your research, what future trends in big data do you see having the most significant impact on traditional organizations?
If I see, there are a number of technologies, as I earlier said, that big data analytics alone is not able to give you the right outlook or right insight. So there is a huge market shift which are using AI and machine learning. Like I have given example to their customers as well as their own business units, right? Then another technology which is coming into picture is edge computing. Now, edge computing is basically analyzing the doing the real-time analytics, which is collecting sensor data, which is collecting your day-to-day real-time data. IoT is completely coming up with a new sensor databases. So there is a huge, because downtime, every organization wants minimum downtime. Minimum downtime, keep their customers stick to their product. So if they want to take the leverage of this, then big data is not alone is sufficient for it. So they have to go for real-time analytics. They have to go for ML. They have to go for blockchain. If we talk about the security concern, then big data analytics plus blockchain gives you an added advantage, which adds certain new features to your security pattern. So there are a number of technology which are coming in. And specifically, if I talk about the IoT, nowadays everybody wants smart home, smart organization, secure organization. So that means what you are doing in IoT, you are edge computing plus your data processing system, and then you are upgrading your IoT system capabilities. So these are the things which actually changing the scenario. Obviously, regulatory bodies are now into picture. Earlier, we were not thinking about cyber law, cyber securities, but now you can see there is governance is also playing a crucial role, and they are also thinking the importance of security in this. Earlier, when we talk about cloud computing specifically, we were talking about infrastructure as a service. service as a service sector जो हमारा था, that was there. We were talking about that, but now the people are talking about another data as a service. There is a huge growth after big data analytics. That this new phase is coming into picture. That is DaaS. That is data as a service. So this is new trend basically, and it is giving cost-effective solutions. Right. So there are a number of technologies which are coming into picture, and you can see this data visualization tools. Anybody easily can customize it and can use it and can see their own analytics. So these advancement is basically coming up, and new solutions, because this is a competitive market, right? Any IT service provider also wants to remain in those services. So they are coming up with the new tools, new technologies. There's huge innovation which is taking place in this particular sector, right? So this is it, right?
So for organizations just starting to explore big data, what practical or baby steps should they take to begin leveraging it effectively? If you can share 2 or 3 key points, key takeaways of this session.
The first point is the same, which I said earlier also, that you have clear your business objective. You have to clear your business goal. And once you are clear with this is my goal, whether I want to give customer satisfaction, optimize my operation, or my main motive is earning more revenue generation at the higher side. So the first step is to decide your business objective, that this is my business objective. Then once you are clear with objective, then you have to work on your goals, that this is the objective. To achieve this objective, these are 1, 2, 3 my goals. Because coming on the goal part, you have to understand your existing data. We cannot ignore the existing data, because already I'm doing a business. Now I'm moving to data driven culture. So I have to first evaluate the existing data I'm having in my organization. Then what are the infrastructure requirement I'm having? So the major is business objective, existing data set which I'm having with my company, and then my infrastructure I can go for, because budget, tools, technology all plays a crucial role in this. And then I start establishing my data strategy. So if I want to move as a smaller unit to go for moving towards the big data platform, the first business goal, second is you have to understand your data, infrastructure you want to establish, and then you have to go for data management tools, governance, strategies. All those factors come into picture, because acquiring right tool, right features, and right people, very important if you want to succeed in this. And initially, if you are not sure of, in our software industry, we used to train our student in a way that when you are not sure of your requirement, then always go for a pilot project rather than going for a full-fledged shift. First shift a part of it. So always start with the pilot project, evaluate that pilot project, and if you think that yes, you are ready to go ahead with this culture or this shift, then only go for it. But anyhow, the industry is saying that you have to. If you want to survive in this competitive world, if you want to survive in this market and give the most personalized feeling to your customer, anyhow, you have to go for it. So initially, if you are not sure, then you go for a pilot project. And once you succeed, evaluate it. If you find out, yeah, this is done and I can go for it, then only you start creating those culture. Because halfway don't do anything. Otherwise, it's a loss to your organization. Right?
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Vishal Dahiya, for joining us today and sharing your valuable insight with our audience. We appreciate your time and the thought-provoking discussion. For our listeners, we hope this episode has shed lights on the strategic importance of big data and inspired new ways to think about its role in shaping the future of traditional organizations. Stay tuned for more episodes of Business Talk, where we continue to explore groundbreaking research and industry insights. Once again, thank you very much, Dr. Vishal Dahiya, for your kind presence.
Thank you, Deepak sir. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.